Join us on Geek Blood, the show you can't ignore. Wayne and Kevin diving deep into all things galore. Comic book, movie, sci-fi, and action thrill. Reviewing new TV shows, we keep it real. Reminiscing the Attitude Era, wrestling at its peak. Nostalgia from the 80s and 90s, memories we seek. Pineapples for our rings, a unique touch. Geek culture in our blood, we love it so much. Geek Blood forever, we love it so much. Geek Blood, where we talk about it all, from superheroes to wrestlers. We stand tall, Ray and Kevin, the dynamic duo in sight. Geek Blood, shining bright, shining bright. Did you hear about Pluto? Let's messed up right. Geek Blood, taking you on a nostalgia flight. From movies to TV, we cover it all. Join us every week, we'll have a ball. Shuffle.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, man. Not much.
Not much. Did you realize that we are now in a 4-year birthday for the podcast today? Actually, we recorded 4 years ago today.
That's insane.
Yes, the little podcast I could.
I just realized we are doing show and tell today, are we not?
Let's skip it because I don't even have anything either. I just remember.
That's good because mine's in my vehicle. We'll do it. We'll do my live unboxing next week, or I might just have it because I want to see what it looks like.
Yeah, we can do it next week.
Okay.
Have you opened it yet at all? You're waiting.
No, it's
You're
sitting in my car.
It
just clicked.
Okay,
it just clicked. Yeah. So.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. There's a little preview for you. But yeah, 4 years ago today, we recorded the first podcast, released it on November 8th, 2021. And we are about 3 weeks away from our 200th episode. So that's kind of cool. We're going to do it. I believe it runs. I think it's going to run into Thanksgiving week or something around there. But yeah, a little podcast that could, something that we just came up with. Started off as a blog 10, 15 years ago. That I had one post for Man of Steel with a Man of Steel review for about 10 years. Kevin's like, why don't we just do a podcast? And I was like, all right, fine, let's do it. And of course, I took charge and came together, put a logo together, and we everything's been history since then. So build it from a box of scraps into what it is today. Dozens of listeners, and
with enough hard work and dedication, you too can have 6 subs and about 8 average listeners a week after 4 years of hard work.
Hey, but we always said this wasn't for listeners; it's for us to connect and keep connecting and talk about stuff. I mean, this is conversations that him and I have throughout the week. We just do it live on a podcast for everybody to hear our nonsense. But and there is a lot of nonsense today. A lot of nostalgic things happened this week. A lot of things building up to the end of the month. We'll get into that. But first, a homegrown segment that we built throughout the years, a Fat Fuck segment.
The Fat Fucks are back.
Yeah, you know, Malcolm River, but
The Fat Fucks are back.
motherfucker, show me the Fat Fuck.
Got a couple of great ones today.
Do we, though?
Oreo coming out with a turkey dinner, Thanksgiving dinner inspired set. I believe it's 12 cookies, and they're going to be 2 flavors each. And it's all going to be inspired by a Thanksgiving dinner. And the flavors are pumpkin pie, creamed corn, caramel apple pie, cranberry sauce. And right there, you're like, okay, those are sweet flavors make sense. You're having a sweet cookie. And then it just takes the car and decides to drive it right straight off the cliff with Thanksgiving turkey and stuffing and a sweet potato inspired flavor. Yeah, these are on sale right now on the Oreo website. I believe $20 plus shipping. And they haven't sold out because I don't know, people don't seem to want them.
I should get
Yeah.
I should get a
You
tin
should.
and bring it to Thanksgiving, and with everyone that's not eating, which will probably be all of them, taste them on the episode the next week if there's any left over.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. Yeah, there's only 2 flavors per box, so you only get 12. But yeah. Interesting. Another interesting thing, KFC releasing a Stranger Things inspired menu for the final season. A Stranger Things burger, spicy zinger chicken burger with a bright red bun, and a sweet and spicy new sauce. They're going to have that sauce drenched in the wings. And yeah, and just the sandwich alone and all that. So yeah, that comes out sometime January 4th of next year. So yeah, but the big thing that everybody's talking about this week, and the marketing on this is perfect because it's done by Jason Biggs from American Pie. Not sure if I want to try it or not, but apple pie flavored Kraft macaroni and cheese.
That sounds terrible.
But just seeing Jason Biggs sitting next to an apple pie promoting this has been the best part of it. But it sounds god awful. But yeah, that's the food news for the week. What we watched this week. Oh, I was going to ask you about this. I'm glad that you have it on here. I just saw you added it. Alex versus A-Rod.
Yes.
I did see that I saw him promoting it. I saw A-Rod promoting it on Today's Show or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it was Alex or Reader. I can't remember who was or what was going on. But yeah, I see you watched the first episode.
I did. It was very good.
Nice.
Very, very good. I don't know how many episodes are in it, but at least episode 1 was really good. It was on, I think it came out yesterday. But yeah, really good documentary so far.
Yeah, there's a Red Sox documentary too. I mentioned to you yesterday.
Yep.
It's on ESPN Unlimited or ESPN Plus, whatever. And it's basically a history of the Red Sox. It's called Believing the Boston Red Sox, something like that. Believers. And like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Bill Burr. There's a whole bunch of celebrities on it talking about their fandom of the Red Sox. But 3 episodes tackling the history of the whole franchise from I believe when the curse started up until the curse broke, and being a fan during that time period, growing up a fan in Boston in this area, with all the losing that happened and all the curse nonsense, and then it being broken. But yeah, you mentioned it to me off the pod. There are a lot of documentaries being done about the Red Sox curse. I mean, it is a big deal. I mean, they did win after almost 100 years. It was 86 years ended up being. So it's a big deal, but it is being definitely beaten to death, as they say. But I watched a documentary on Netflix, ended the Halloween week with a documentary called True Haunting, done by James Wan, who does The Conjuring, does Paranormal Activity, all of that stuff. He produced this as well. I believe it's 5 episodes, and they take two haunting topics, and they do dramatic reenactments of them, but with the people that were actually involved in the hauntings, whether you believe it or not. But yeah, it's pretty good. About a half hour each episode. It's on Netflix if you want to watch it. But yeah. And last night I signed up for YouTube TV to watch the Wicked special, the Wicked live concert special. It was setting up the promotion tour for Wicked for Good, which comes out at the end of the month. Pretty much the whole entire cast was there performing songs from the first movie, previewing stuff from the new movie. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a great production. I mean, they had the money behind it to promote it. So yeah, the Universal money. But yeah, it came out. It's I believe it's on Peacock now if you want to stream it. And yeah, we'll talk about that movie at the end of the month. And today on Netflix, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein came out. Which we are not going to talk about now because we haven't watched it, but I'm going to watch it tonight. You're going to watch it tonight and this weekend. And we're going to talk about it next week because we're both very, very hyped for it. I love Guillermo del Toro. Every movie I've seen from him, from from Hellboy, even before that. I think, can't came out. What did he do before Hellboy? There's a movie. I know Pan's Labyrinth came out after, but every movie after that I've liked. Not Lady in the Water. Was it Lady in the Water?
He did that
No, that's
long
the-
after Hellboy.
Yeah, not Lady in the Water. It's the one that he got the Best Picture.
Yeah, the
the Fish Water. The Fish.
Yeah, Lady in the
movie,
Water
yeah.
wasn't that
That's
M.
M Night. Yeah, that's M
Okay.
Night. But going back, I mean, Frankenstein, 1931, Universal Monster. I was gonna watch this during Halloween, but I figured, well, we're gonna be watching Frankenstein this weekend. I figured we'll talk about the 1931 Universal monster movie Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff. I don't know if you've ever seen this. I don't know if you've seen any of the Universal monster movies, but
I've seen
They're about
some
an
a
hour.
long time ago. Yeah.
they're about an hour 5 minutes per movie, so they're short. They came out right during the beginning of when movies started to talk, so they're short form. But it's for what it is. You put yourself in your place in 1930s, like innovative at the time, of course, but it's just campy to see a black and white movie nowadays. But great acting, of course. The one line from this movie that is in AFI's 100 best lines of all time is "It's alive, it's
Yep.
alive." So everybody knows that line from the Doctor. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a basic story of Frankenstein. If you want to know what the story is, and I did. I mean, I already knew it, but I wanted to see this movie before going in this weekend. I know there was one done in the 90s, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I don't know who did that
Yes.
one. I don't even know who was in that one. And I was going to look it up and I forgot, but maybe we'll talk about it next week. But yeah, I cannot wait to watch Guillermo del Toro's this weekend. Very excited for it. And I'm glad it's on Netflix. I kind of wish I did see it in the theater, but it'll be okay on TV here tonight. So yeah, excited. We'll talk about that next week. And a movie setting up something we're going to watch eventually came out in theaters today. Or is it next week? I think it was today. The Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. We're going to talk about the first one. This one came out in 1987, directed by Paul Michael Glaser, who is Starsky from Starsky and Hutch.
Yep.
He directed this. Stars Arnold, Jesse Ventura. Richard Dawson plays the guy who's kind of hosting the game show. He also hosted Match Game and Family Feud. Yaphet Kotto, who is a big black guy. You've seen him in Alien.
Yep.
He was a villain in Live and Let Die. He was in Midnight Run. Football player Jim Brown, who did a lot of acting roles. Was he a good player? Was he a 50s, 60s player? Jim Brown?
He was
I don't know
one of the
much about
greatest
him.
players of all time. He was also the announcer in the first UFC, doing color commentary.
Oh, no shit. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Mick Fleetwood from Fleetwood Mac played himself in a post-apocalyptic world. He actually talked about how music was kind of banned in this era, in this world.
Yep.
And Woody from Psycho's in this
Yes.
too, played a quick cameo.
Yep.
Notice that. And the novel was written under Richard Bachman, who we didn't talk about last month, talking about Stephen King, but that was his pseudonym
Mhm.
in the 80s, and it didn't come out, I think, until a few years later. Richard Bachman was the pseudonym of him, and he also did The Long Walk under that pseudonym. And there's a
Mhm.
couple other movies, I can't remember which ones were done under that name. Do you know the history of that name at all? What happened
No.
in recent history?
No.
He killed off Richard Bachman. He had a death in real life, and his wife took over the writing duties. So now his wife is writing books. Stephen King is writing books under his wife's name. I can't remember her name, but there are books done by Richard Bachman's wife in modern time now. After he died, so yeah, that's kind of cool. Stephen King's weird, but he does creative shit like that. It's kind of strange, but the movie itself, very much a movie of its time, mid 80s movie. Arnold right at the peak of his popularity, and it's a post-apocalyptic world set in the distant year of 2017, which was almost 10 years ago, or 2019. Sorry, but Arnold is running into this. He runs away from this kind of slave camp, and he runs out and he runs away and he's caught. And he's put into this post-apocalyptic series of games, kind of like the Hunger Games, where you try to beat everybody to survive, and there's different layers you have to get through, different levels you have to get through to beat the big boss. And if you get it to the very end, in his case, he gets his freedom. It's for what it is. It's a decent idea, decent premise.
Yeah.
Of course, set in the 80s time, so it's a little campy. It's a very much Arnold being Arnold, chewing on scenery, chewing on dialogue, like kind of reminiscent of Batman and Robin dialogue. But
very much so.
It's definitely Arnold. If you like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're gonna love this movie. And he's promoting it heavily. He's not in the new one, but he is on the $100 bill in the new Running Man. And playing him in the new Running Man is Glenn Powell, of course. Playing the game show host is Coleman Domingo. And yeah, and it's done by Edgar Wright, who we both love. So very excited to see the new one. But this one is definitely a piece of its time. It's definitely an 80s, mid 80s Arnold movie, reminiscent of everything he's did around that era. So yeah. And we watched 2 brand new movies we're going to talk about. First one I'm very excited to talk about is Caught Stealing. Caught Stealing is an amazing movie for what it is.
Yep.
Great cast, up and down. Yeah, very fun movie. Great cast from Austin Butler, Zoe Kravitz, Matt Smith, who he's had a lot of bad roles since Doctor Who, but he's had, like you mentioned, House of Dragon, which I could completely forget he's in that. Number one, he transforms into that character, and number two, that doesn't come out that often, so I always forget about it.
He wasn't in the second season a lot. He didn't have much to do with that part of the story either. So yeah.
And you're telling me to just wait because there's a lot more to it. But the 2 Hasidic brothers, played by Vincent D'Onofrio and Liv Schreiber, great. Bad Bunny, great in this. What's her name? I don't know her name. Of course, it's not on there. Regina King, right? Is her name?
Yes.
It's blocked off on here. She's great. She was also in the Watchmen thing that we watched a couple months ago. Great movie. 4 out of 5 for me.
Same.
Definitely great to see a great action movie nowadays. You don't see too many like this original movies. I guess it's based off a book, but one movie I wasn't too high on. I know you reviewed it a couple weeks ago, but The Smashing Machine, starring The Rock, getting a lot of praise for his performance, but I thought watching it that it was very much just The Rock being The Rock. Didn't see much of it. I didn't know much about Mark Kerr. I don't know much about that period of Pride and UFC. Was this really? It wasn't really a UFC story. It was mostly Pride. There wasn't no UFC.
Yeah, I think they only showed he was in very early UFC, and then he went to Pride where he made his mark, I guess, after UFC.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, it's just basically the story of him and his relationship with his wife, who's played by what's her name from Jen from The Office's wife in real life, who was I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
But you can see her on the poster there.
Yeah.
Overall, okay movie. 3.5 out of 5. Nothing I'll go back and watch. I do like the Safdie guy, Benny Safdie, Safdie, whatever.
Yeah.
And I know he did Uncut Gems, right?
Yep.
I love that movie.
Him and his brother did that. They did Good Times with
Good Times.
Pattinson,
You saw that, yeah. And he also was the villain in Happy Gilmore, which is weird because I mean he did Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler, so that makes sense. But yeah, it was an okay movie. A lot of the hype, I think it was overhyped. I think The Rock overhyped it too online.
Well, The Rock just always overhypes everything. So
yeah, and he was talking about. We'll talk about it now because I saw it earlier. But he was talking about his time at WB and how he's kind of. I'm done with that. I'm done with that role now. I'm all done with that. I forgot about it. It's out of my past. It's in my past now. So he's distancing himself from the mess that he made over there too. So that's it for what we watched this week. But before we get into news, there's something that I've been wanting to talk about, and I figure we'll talk about it on a light week. Is this WB buyout? And there's a lot of speculation on what's going to happen here. And I did come up with a list of who would benefit more in a buyout for Warner Brothers. And there are a lot of companies that are coming out of the woodwork thinking, hiring lawyers to maybe come and buy them out. And there's one that came out yesterday. We're going to talk about in a minute, but break it down one by one of who we think will have the more potential with the company, have more potential with the IP, and actually being able to promote it and add it to their catalog and so on and so forth. And a lot of it has to do with streaming rights too, and how it's going to benefit a streaming and combined streaming service possibly. But we'll start off with Apple. What would happen? What would be their benefit the most would be developing a non-existent IP that they don't really have right now. They have all their own homegrown stuff on their app. Other than that, there's nothing outside of the studio. And this would give them a catalog they've never had before. Plus, they have the money. They have the money to produce new things. And they lost out to the MGM deal with Amazon. So this would kind of be a nice way to break out of that and get something on their own. So yeah, they have nothing's come out about that. But Paramount is the big one. That was where this whole merger started from, this whole thing. And with Paramount, the benefit would be a massive combined media app, which they've said that HBO Max and Paramount Plus would be merged into one. The IP of both companies would be merged. You got Paramount, CBS, and then you got HBO Max. The other thing, Discovery could be separated. It could all be separated too. So they may not own Discovery after this too. It all depends on what gets approved. But that's Paramount. Netflix. We mentioned last week that they hired a lawyer to try to come up with an idea if Netflix would be the buyer. As far as them, they would benefit from a major push for theatrical if they actually wanted to do that. Netflix has kind of been known to not do that because they're more worried about the streaming. But it would be their foot in the door.
I don't want Netflix to buy it.
Because I don't think they really know how to do the theatrical thing, and that's kind of scary, especially from Warner Brothers, which is the biggest theatrical thing right now.
Did you see? I'm sure it's in the notes about the Krager movie.
Which one?
After Weapons, Netflix wanted to make a movie with Krager, and they were all set to go. Oh, okay, they were all set to go, and they lost it because he wouldn't do it without theatrical, and they refused to give him theatrical, even though Weapons was such a success.
But you've heard that story not just with Krager. You've heard that with a lot of creators that worked with Netflix. They've done that a lot. So that is scary. If they did buy Warner Brothers, would they bury the theatrical? That would be weird. But they would have a major IP acquisition, and they're known mostly for creating in house. So that would be the big deal. Would they take advantage of having a theatrical window? Who knows? The other one that nobody's talking about because Disney is in so much debt from the Fox merger is Disney. Mm-hmm. But if they added to Disney, what would they benefit? Adding to their already packed portfolio. And it would become an IP juggernaut, probably bigger than any other company. Passed down to theme parks, merchandising, everything. And the app would be gigantic. A merged app. And today, news came out or last night that Comcast has joined the fight, and they've actually hired the same lawyers that Netflix hired last week to get into the process to explore bidding for it as well. So Comcast, NBC, Universal, who already have an impressive IP alone with their history, strengthening Peacock, which is kind of a lower app, making it bigger if they merged it with HBO Max. And it would be huge. I mean, it would be huge for them. So I could see that happening. Amazon, they have the money, building a larger IP catalog. They have MGM, but they could use more. Especially it would bring Lord of the Rings all into one studio because all the movies are on Warner Brothers. Bigger theatrical footprint because Amazon does not come out with a lot of theatrical. They're too on the Prime schedule. Every movie comes out on Prime. And they could get their foot in the door to cable. Amazon, mostly known for streaming with the Prime app. HBO, a lot of these companies could benefit. I think Amazon would be the biggest benefit for cable because they don't have a cable footprint. And the other one that nobody talks about is Sony Columbia Pictures. Merging in the IP, Sony has a pretty decent catalog. Strengthening the theatrical of Sony. Sony's already a pretty strong theatrical juggernaut. And putting their foot in the door for cable as well. It would bring the studio to a higher level because Sony's mostly known for being a studio that's kind of a lower studio, even though they're not as high as everybody else. But it would be interesting to see if Sony merge, or I don't think they have the money to, but that's why it's at the bottom of the list. But yeah, it's just an interesting time to see what would happen with Warner Brothers. Overall effects of this, mostly to the consumer, is less app confusion. Maybe combining two apps will make things easier. However, more content in one app equals possibly higher price jumps, which would be ridiculous for us as a consumer. Because how high is too high for an app? ESPN right now is the highest one, $29.99 a month for their ESPN Unlimited. You get a deal with Disney Plus, but how high is this going to go? Or is it going to be to the point where one streaming app is going to be what one subscription to cable was 10 years ago? Possibly, the way the forecast outlook is looking right now. We definitely had it made during the pandemic when everything was $6.99, $4.99. Apple TV started at $4.99. I think it's at $11.99 right now, and that was only 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. It's kind of nuts and crazy, but Paramount Skydance. I saw this article. I want to talk about it before we get into news. David Ellison, who's in charge of Paramount Skydance, is all going forward with this merger with Warner Brothers. Reportedly has a list of actors and filmmakers to never work with, relating to the individual stance on Israel and all their political standings on Trump and everything else. A number of DC actors have openly been pro-Palestine, anti-Trump. A lot of directors have been, including James Gunn. Additionally, they plan to skew their films to be more male and MAGA-centric, MAGA-aligned mostly, to be non-DEI, DIE, whatever you call it. So yeah, that's kind of scary, especially getting into a new Warner Brothers, being James Gunn being known to be very outspoken about the Trump administration and everything going on. So yeah, we're at a pro-MAGA, and also we mentioned it before. There is a political thing here where Trump is for this merger, very much after winning the lawsuit against CBS for the Stephen Colbert stuff. Trump is for it. Is there some sort of a pay thing here? Who knows? We can speculate all day about it. We'll never know unless they do a full investigation, which probably won't happen. But we'll continue talking about this. There's news every week coming out about potential buyers. Zazoff's talking about it all the time. Of maybe in December there'll be more word on it. This could all be just talk to up the company's price. With a bidding war, the price of this company could skyrocket, and then dividing it up, which was the original idea, was to divide it up into two companies. Still could happen, but at a higher price point. So yeah, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But until then, let's get into the news. And it's not just that trailer roundup. One big trailer to talk about this week, and that is the Michael trailer. This trailer, for the minute that it was amazing. Of course, the movie, the biopic done by Fuqua, who directed Training. He's the one who directed Training Day, right? Yeah,
Training Day.
And it's all about Michael Jackson. It looks like his whole entire life is what they're setting it up to be. And there's still rumors of this movie turning into 2 movies. So I don't know if that's ever going to be the case, or we're going to hear more about it.
Yeah, they still have to film the entire second half because of the...
is that right?
It was... They basically had it filmed, and then they realized that it's a story that legally they can't tell because of court cases. Right. So I'm not sure if we're going to get that part. So I don't know where this is going to end, but yeah.
So I would guess this would probably end around the 80s, like 80s, 90s. Then.
I heard that around Bad or Thriller, something like that, is where they think it's going to end in that era.
Interesting. But yeah, tells the story of Michael Jackson. Comes out on April 24th. Looks really good. Miles Teller there playing his manager. From what we see, this kid, he sounds just like Michael. Talks just like Michael, sings just like Michael. So It could be. We could be in for something special in April. So I'm really hoping we are. But top of the box office last week. Regretting You for the second week. 8.1 million. Still don't know what it is. Black Phone 2, number 2, and Chainsaw Man, the movie Resi Arc, the second week was number 3 for 6 million. Still don't know what that is. News came out earlier in the week that Millie Bobby Brown reportedly filed harassment charges against Stranger Things star David Harbour. And then I had this in the news articles to talk about this week, and then they went on the red carpet last night for Stranger Things season 5 and started hugging it out, kind of squashing that rumor. I wanted to bring that up that it had been squashed.
I heard it was something about his ex-wife or ex-fiance had something to do with leaking something out. I don't know.
Yeah, they had a bad falling out, breakup. I guess she's saying that he cheated on her.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole thing happened. What's her name? She's a singer, but yeah, I'm very excited for that. Stranger Things in full promotion too. That and Wicked both in full promotion right now for the end of the month. And today Grammy nominations came out. I'll talk about the film part of it. That's the only thing I saw this week. But Grammy nominations for Best Film TV Score. We got Sinners, How to Train Your Dragon, which I haven't seen, Severance Season 2, music in that is great. Wicked, of course, great. And The Wild Robot, which I hear is great. I have not seen that. But yeah, out of all those, Sinners, the music in Sinners, if it doesn't win, there's a travesty there. I do, and I love The Wicked too. Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande nominated for Best Pop Duo Group Performance for Defying Gravity. And Sinners did win for best 5 noms for best for the movies, Best Movie TV Score, Best Song Written for Film ×3, and Best Compilation Soundtrack for a Film or TV. And K-Pop Demon Hunters was nominated for 4 Grammys for Song of the Year, Remix Recording, Song Written for Television, Pop Duo Group Performance. So yeah, Grammys is usually end of January, February, around that time. Speaking of K-Pop Demon Hunters, 2029 is the second one coming out on Netflix. That was announced this week. And also announced this week, Godzilla -1, 2, which is actually called Godzilla -0 is the official name. We both loved that movie. We watched it last year, or you watched it a year and a half ago. Reviewed it on the podcast. I think it was a 5 out of 5.
Yeah,
it was an amazing movie, very, very good. And this is basically, I think -1 means 1 year before, so -0 would mean right when Godzilla makes his first real major attack on the world. So, yeah, very cool. They made that first movie with such a low budget. I'm wondering if they're going to keep that same point going in, but we'll have to wait and see. Also announced this week, surprising everyone, Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz are reuniting for The Mummy 4. I actually went back and watched the first Mummy this week, which I hadn't seen in a while. I fucking love that
haven't
movie.
either. Yeah, I got the 4K set. I haven't watched them yet, so I'll probably run those back next month.
I bet you that'll look great. I just watched the first movie this week for the first time probably in 7-8 years. And it's very good. It's Indiana Jones. It's just old archaeological dig and all that stuff is really, really cool, mixed with mummies and monsters, which is really cool. But they are reviving it. Filmmakers Matt Olpin and Tyler Gillett are going to be in charge of it. They did the movie Radio Silence. I don't know what that is. No,
they are Radio Silence. They are Radio Silence.
Oh, okay.
Scream. That's their.
They revived Scream. Yeah.
Their team name is Radio Silence. They did the Scream franchise revival. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I although the first one's great, second one brought in the Scorpion King. The CGI was horrible. Third one
we don't
was
talk about.
bad because Rachel Weisz decided not to do it for obvious reasons. I think it was Jet Li was the bad guy or one of those Asian actors.
I saw
it was set.
Once.
It was set in like over there in the Asian country somewhere. I'm not sure, Japan, I guess, but yeah, not good. But yeah, I'll have to wait and see on that. The other thing that was announced this week, Gremlins 3, being directed by Chris Columbus.
Which they've been
And,
talking about this for years. It's been on and
yeah.
off being rebooted, but they finally got Columbus back. So
Yep.
Good.
2 years from this month, coming out November 2027. Steven Spielberg is going to be an executive producer. So yeah. And joining the cast of the Ty West Christmas Carol, alongside Johnny Depp as Scrooge, is going to be Tremel Tillman, who is in Severance, and Ian McKellen. Tillman will be playing the Ghost of Christmas Present, and Ian McKellen, who knows, is going to play probably. He's probably going to be playing. I can't remember the guy's name. The friend of Ebenezer, who's the ghost in the beginning. Crockett. I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, probably. That's my speculation. I saw this today. I wanted to talk about it. There's a book coming out in August about the making of Dogma, the whole story of the film. Dogma is getting a big resurgence right now because Kevin Smith has the rights to the movie back. He's doing a huge tour of the movie, coming out in 4K download sometime probably during Christmas month. But it's going to have never before seen pictures and cast and crew interviews, talking about the making of the movie, which is my favorite Kevin Smith movie. It's this big, like, not magnum opus, but there's a lot of stars in it, a lot of story to it, a lot more potential to it too. It's one of those movies that everybody wants to see a sequel to. Alan Rickman, his role kind of broke out from Die Hard into this weird, cool, comedic, dramatic role, which was kind of neat. And of course, he did Harry Potter after that. So, yeah, cannot wait to read that book. Nintendo Switch 2, in just 6 months, has sold 10.36 million units, becoming the biggest. I don't think it is yet, but it's continuing its run to be the biggest console release ever.
It's kind of crazy considering there isn't too many games for it outside of upgrades from Switch 1 games.
Yeah, nothing. No big new Mario game. No big new Zelda game or Metroid.
Odyssey runs so much better. The Zelda games run so much better.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
I love the console. The new Donkey Kong game is awesome. Played a lot of that last night. It's just smashing a lot of stuff, so it's kind of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I love my Switch too.
Yeah. What did I see? I saw that PlayStation is going to be making their own version of a portable Switch like console, or
Which,
PS6 is going to be released around the same time.
Has one right now, so.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that's the big thing. If you're going to emulate the biggest console, which is the Switch 2, I guess you're going to make your own portable version as well. Announced yesterday, Grand Theft Auto 6, which was supposed to come out in May, got delayed another 6 months till November 19th of 2026. No surprise there. I think everybody kind of speculated this was going to happen. I think the rumor had been around for a while that this was going to happen. So no surprise there, but yeah, it is delayed. So a year from now, hopefully we'll have this game, maybe holiday season of 2026, right around the time Avengers comes out, Doomsday. So we'll wait and see. And the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra. This is the game set in 1943 when Captain America goes one-on-one with Black Panther, set in World War II. It was supposed to come out sometime this year, the end of the year. It has been delayed as well to early 2026 in the winter, spring. So yeah, no official date on that. Let's get into some swag.
Swag. Stuff we all get.
Come on, son. You know that's right.
Got a brand new Lego set. Very first time they've done Star Trek. The USS Enterprise from, I believe, the Next Generation, with a whole bunch of minifigures as well. Very first time Star Trek has had a figure. So that's for Lego. So that's kind of cool. Also coming out in Lego, this from Spider-Man 3. They're about 20 years too late, but they are coming out with a Sandman, Venom, and Spider-Man set. One of those smaller sets that probably costs about $79-$80. But yeah, I want to mention that. And speaking of Marvel, nope, not yet. Speaking of Marvel, Patrick Stewart, who is going to be in Avengers Doomsday, the rumor is that is going to be his last movie, not just as Professor X, but that's going to be where he retires from film acting. No official word on that, but it is a role that he has definitely cemented as himself as Professor X. Even even surpassing himself over James McAvoy. He did a great job playing Professor X, but everybody knows him. Everybody knows Patrick Stewart as Professor X. Even before the movie was cast, he was a fan cast all throughout the 90s. I remember way before the movie was made, I remember thinking, wow, he'd be a great Professor Xavier when I was in the cartoon. But yeah, that could be his final acting role. We'll have to wait and see. And finally in news, the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday came out in Collider, came out in a few other places, is going to be played in front of Avatar Fire and Ash. Makes perfect sense. You're a year away from the movie. A quick teaser trailer would do a lot for this, would do a lot for Marvel. The other speculations, I mean, there's so many movies coming out during that whole first half of 2026. You got Spider-Man, also rumored to be a trailer for that. Dune 3, which is in production now, but they can put something together. The Odyssey, another one. But yeah, and I think Michael was going to be played in front of that too when that came out this week. So there's a lot of potentials for some big movies coming out next year that could be played in front of Avengers. But that's it for the show next week. For this week, next week, cannot wait to talk about it. Welcome to Derry, episode 3. I love this show. What did you think of episode 2? I know you didn't talk about it.
It was good. It was very good. I like the
very
show
good.
a lot.
Me
It's
too.
got Stranger Things
excited.
vibes to it. I like it a lot.
And Stephen King. I mean, that's the one thing about it. It's a great coming of age story for all these kids, and they're tackling it again with a brand new cast of characters, which is really, really cool. And tonight we're gonna watch Frankenstein. Brand new posters for that came out this week. Gonna talk about that. Cannot wait. It's on Netflix. If anybody wants to watch it. Coming out on the 12th, so 5 days from now, is a movie called Playdate. This comes out on Amazon Prime for free. Gonna watch it because I love Alan Ritchson, Paul Blart, Kevin James in this as well. Watch that. I'll talk about that next week. There's a documentary coming out on Netflix the same day called Being Eddie. That's the Eddie Murphy documentary. Gonna try to watch that. I don't know if it's a movie or a series. Coming out in the theaters next week, Running Man. So it comes out next week. And Now You See Me 3 comes out next week as well. We'll talk about those eventually. There was a big movie that came out today. I don't remember what it was. Predator Badlands, yes. And I do want to see that as well. But yeah, that's it for the show. Thanks everybody for all the years of listening to this show. And we will talk to you next week. And we are very close to episode 200. No big fanfare for that. It'll be a Thanksgiving episode. Maybe we'll talk a little bit of Thanksgiving on that. But until then, we'll talk to you next week. Peace.
We're the Geek Blurb crew, here to enlighten you. Talking all things geeky, from movies to wrestling to our podcast is the place where you want to be for all the latest news and nostalgia from the 80s and 90s. We review comic book flicks and sci-fi hits, riding the wave of action movies with all the cool bits. From Iron Man to Star Wars, we cover it all. And when it comes to wrestling, we never drop the ball. Geek Blurb, we're the kings of the nerds, rating movies and pineapples, our opinions never blurred. Join us each week for a geeky chat with the latest scoop and a dose of nostalgia that. So if you're a fan of the comic book craze, or a lover of sci-fi and all its maze, tune in to Geek Blurb. We're here to entertain, bringing you the best in geekdom. It's our domain.